Tim Collins with Cullman today. I'm at Cullman Regional Medical Center for the Business and Community Leaders Luncheon. I'm with an esteemed doctor, Vince Bergquist, MD. Dr. Vince, you were surprised today at lunch, weren't you?
I certainly was. I was not expecting to receive any award.
Well, people don't know this until now, but you won the Healthcare Professional of the Year award for the entire Cullman County area and beyond. I mean, you're the #1 doctor. That's got to be really a shock if you didn't know.
Yes, sir, it really was.
Now, did you get any sort of preamble or warning on this, or did you just learn it right at lunch?
I learned it right at lunch. They kept it totally quiet.
Well, I was watching you as you walked up. You seemed a bit puzzled, but you recovered and rendered a good speech. Now, you've been at this for a long time, what, 40 years or so?
Yes, I started practicing in September of 1977, and I've been practicing here ever since.
Now, an orthopedist does broken bones, joints, anything really structurally in the body, correct?
That's right.
Now, if you think back over your years doing this, how many patients would you estimate that you've seen?
I've seen about 46,000 separate patients.
Wow. That is really quite a record, and I assume that of those 46,000, they were somewhat instrumental in getting you this award. Do you know how you were selected?
No, sir, I really don't know how I was selected, but I have been working on improving health care, and especially orthopedic health care, in Cullman since I came here. I was the first orthopedist in Cullman County, and it was quite unusual because I was a board-certified orthopedist in Cullman County, and I've continued to work toward perfection in various departments here in the hospital.
Dr. Bergquist, I think the nice thing about him is that since he's been here for many years, he has patients who wouldn't know where to go without him, and we hear that a lot about him, patients who keep coming back year after year because he really does listen to the patient. He tries to do the very best for them, and if that means no surgery, if it's not in their best interest, then he will explain that to the patient. But they walk away knowing that he is going to do the very best that he can for them and their health.
Cullman started out with a Hill-Burton hospital. It was built about 1938 or 39, and it was expanded in 1957 or 58. And then fortunately, by the foresight of the hospital board, it was enlarged in the early 70s, 1971 or 72. And I came here just after they completed the addition in 1977. And that was even before the physician's office building was finished. And I actually had my office in a little bitty building over across from the Catholic Church.
Dr. Bergquist is genuinely concerned about your family first. He's maybe never said that in so many words, but you can just tell by the way that he asks about you and your family and how he really kind of keeps up with what everybody's doing. And if there's a time when you need off work for something family related, even if you have to leave early, he is the first one to say you need to get out of here, because he knows, he understands, he's raised children, and he knows how important that is to us as parents. And that just that's just the kind of person that he is. He really is concerned about people.
When I came here in 1977, there was no full-time emergency room physicians. In fact, the emergency room was where the Good Samaritan Clinic is now. And they had residents come up from Birmingham to staff it at night and on weekends. But if you had a cut or something that needed more than a minor suturing, you came to the emergency room, and then they called one of the doctors in the community to come down and take care of you. This was really not a real good solution here. Now today, we have an emergency room that was enlarged 5 years ago, and we had almost 40,000 visits to the emergency room. We have full-time emergency room physicians, and it's a much different situation than it was 40 years ago.
Yeah, sure, sounds like it. Now, you've won this award. You're on top, the Healthcare Professional of the Year in the Cullman area. Well, what's next? Are you going to keep doing this until you drop, or any plans for retirement? Where are you at with the future?
Well, I haven't made any plans for retirement. I really am kind of a perfectionist and keep trying to get better. We are continuing to try to get some of our programs at the hospital better. I've been spearheading the American Joint Registry here at the hospital, and this is a program where total joint patients are registered in a national data bank so that we can keep on improving our care to our patients, much as many of the other services in the hospital have been improved.
We learn new things every day around here, and you think, I've seen it all. I've been doing this almost 30 years myself, and he's constantly teaching. We've learned a lot. He entrusts his employees to really take care of the patients, but we're always learning, and that's something that I can truly say that I have appreciated about him, is that he trusts me to help take care of the patient, but he's constantly teaching us as employees things about orthopedics that helps us do our jobs better.
Well, there's 46,000 patients. If you can go back in your memory banks, do you have one that's the most memorable, that just pops in your head first?
I've had some amazing patients that have had multiple total joints that they actually become sort of bionic people because they've had their shoulders and their knees and their hips replaced. And this is one of the most amazing things that we've had to offer in orthopedics, because many of these people would have been crippled and reduced to a wheelchair just 30 years ago, because now we're able to offer so many more services, both orthopedically and also here in Cullman, that keep people up and participating and able to be part of their family.
Now, final question. I know you've got a bride who's been with you through thick and thin since the beginning. Do you have any plans to celebrate this award? Have you even talked to her about this yet?
I haven't even talked to her about this yet, but I'm sure we will celebrate this.
Well, Dixie, I understand that you knew a couple of days before the doctor did today at lunch that he'd won the award. How did you keep it secret?
I guess it was easy because I have no idea. I just acted normal, but I didn't say anything about that.
You had quite a surprise set up for him in the office when he came back with me.
Well, actually, our employees did that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they just invited you to come.
Yes.
Now, I asked Dr. Vince an important question at the end there. I said, Doc, how are you going to celebrate this with your wife? And he said he had no clue. How are you guys going to celebrate this, you think?
Well, we'll probably go on a bicycle ride with our group around Cullman County and end up at Starbucks.
Wow, that sounds like fun. You know, he didn't know if it was going to be a cruise to Italy in the Mediterranean or a box of crackers or what for dinner. Now, you've been with him for 46 years, right?
That's right.
You know him probably better than anyone in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you tell the world a little bit of a secret about him that they ought to know that they maybe don't know?
Well, as I told you a few minutes ago, he's probably the finest man I've ever known in my whole life. He always thinks about other people, and he always wants to take care of them, whether it's me, whether it's our children, whether it's his patients, whether it's friends. And so he's really honestly always focused on other people.